Hello, this is Nell T. Campy, and I'm getting ready to judge the senior walk trot horsemanship. This is the pattern today. They're going to start before A, walk to A, back a horse length, execute a quarter turn to the left, jog a half circle, change directions here, extend the jog, stop, do a 180 turn to the right, and then walk to exit. And I've got them pretty much placed here, so we're going to talk through them from the bottom up. All right, first we have Summer, and Summer rides 2 horses in this class. We had 9 entries, and she is on Royal here. Steps off into the walk. Correct walk, 0. And Summer, I would encourage you not to brace your feet out when you stop. Just keep them back underneath you. Horse is a little resistant in the backup, so we're at a -1 for the maneuver score here. Same for the turn, almost turns a little bit on both ends, so -1 for the maneuver score. And here is circles inconsistent in terms of speed, jogging a little fast, -1. Does show a change of speed here for the extended jog, but the horse is a little bit fussy as he goes around. -1 for the extended jog. Our turn here, she's really trying to help him out. He turns a little bit on both ends, so we're at a -1 for that, and then we're at a 0 for the walk out. What I do like about this rider is that she really keeps her composure through the entire pattern. She holds a good position, her horsemanship is good. I like how she doesn't get flustered and just rides through the whole thing. And hey, she's out there doing the patterns, getting the horses broke. I respect you for that. We're at a 3 on the F and E, and we're at a 68 for the overall score. So just, slightly below average, but I see a lot of potential in this horse and rider, and I think just keep working on it. All right, next we are going to go to Allie. Let's go to the beginning. All right. So we start off, correct walk is guiding him a little bit in that walk. So I'm at a 0. Same thing with the back here. It's correct, but she does have to handle him a little bit. That's a 0 for me. Helps him make his turn, maybe slight loss of balance there. Still correct enough for a 0. And here in this jog, let's rewind a little bit, get the turn in. So when we start off jogging, couple hard checks right there. I did -1/2 this maneuver for that. It was a little bit of schooling in my opinion. And I think if you just hold your hand steady, trust your horse, I could have been at an easy 0 for that. I do like the change of speed here, but she does have to bump and school him a little bit, -1/2 the maneuver for that. And sometimes horses need a little bit of schooling, but it is going to affect your score. But I certainly understand when that needs to happen. We'll stop here. The turn I like. Well-balanced pivot, +1, and we were at a 0 for the walk. The F and E is a 3, and mostly because of the schooling. This is a good rider. I could have been at a 4 on the F and E without the schooling. Our final score is a 73, so still above average. And on a day where the horse didn't need as much schooling, probably would have been at the top of the class. Okay, we are to Summer again, and this time Summer is riding Whiskey. All right. We walk off, good position, nice steady walk, appears to be straight, +1/2. Your legs still do come forward a little bit, Summer. I would keep your leg back if you can, or just a little bit more minimal in kind of the leg release cue for the stop. The back is correct. That's a 0. Choose a little bit, or I could have gone higher. I liked that 90 pivot. I did a +1 on that. Consistent jog here, good position. It's correct. It's a 0 for me. Slight change of speed. I zeroed this maneuver with more difference of speed, a little more risk, and higher degree of difficulty. I could have gone higher than a 0. I like the square halt this horse has here. Pretty good turn. I did a +1/2 on that. Definitely slightly above average, and a 0 for the walkout. I did a 3 for the F and E, and we're at a 75 for his overall score. So nice job, Summer. Okay, now we are getting into the placings. So this is Jennifer, and I had 2 Jennifers. This is Jennifer Thomas. Oops. Okay, let's get her back to the beginning here. All right. I like the walk. She's got a good position, good posture, +1. Now here in the backup, it's a very correct backup, but the reins, in my opinion, are too long. So I just zeroed it. And same for the pivot. It does affect it because your hand position comes up by your chest. So that's a 0 for me. With a shorter rein, those were good maneuvers. I could have gone higher. I like the jog here. This horse guides really well. +1. Pretty good change of speed, but then he slows back down coming around the corner. So I zeroed that for a correct maneuver. Here we get in a little trouble with the reins. The horse actually doesn't respond quite as willingly as I would like, still does a correct pivot. I'm at a 0 for that. And then a 0 walking to finish. At a 3.5 for the F and E, I could probably be at a 4.5 with just a more effective rein length. Overall score is 75.5. Okay. We're gonna go to 5th place. 5th place, we have Brianna. Found her, still big. This rider's got great posture and form, that's for sure. I like the walk, +1. And she does have to help him quite a bit in the backup, gets a little crooked, correct enough for a 0, zeroed the turn because she did have to help and use quite a bit of aid there. Again here, really pretty horsemanship. But she does have to help her horse out, guiding him slightly, so I'm at a +1/2 for that. Some change of speed here. I still +1/2 this, but I'd like to see more degree of difficulty, a little more change of speed in that extension. To a plus, it's a +1/2 now. I could go a +1 with more extension. I'm at a 0 at correct for the turn. And +1/2 for the walkout, at a 4 for the F and E. So really pretty rider, great horsemanship. Has to help her horse get through the pattern, but does so with minimal cueing. Definitely above average, 76.5. And if you take on a little bit more risk in just the speed of your gaits at the extended jog, then I could raise that up. We're into the 4th place horse. We've got Bailey, and she rides 2 in this class, so we'll say this is Bailey on Lucky. Okay. Step off here in the walk, good position, good posture. I'm at a +1 there. So we back. Reins are a little bit long here. Horse kind of comes up in the bridle. Little resistant, still correct, 0. I like the turn, it's a +1 for me. Steps off into the jog, really nice. I plussed half this jog. I know it's Western horsemanship. I would actually like to see a little bit more jog on him. He might have more of a square jog, a little more rhythm, and that would show a better performance in your pattern. Same here, you do show a change of speed in your extended jog. I plussed half the maneuver. I'd like to see more. And I think you and your horse are capable of asking for that too. You lean off slightly to the left, but this is very correct. I like the turn, +1/2, and +1/2 on the walkout. 3 on the F and E. I could be at a 4 if you asked just for a little bit more forward motion in your horse. I am at a 77 score overall. Okay, then we're moving to 3rd place. We've got our second Jennifer. It's Jennifer Lorenz. Riding obviously a young horse, he's in a Boselle. I like the walk, +1. It's a pretty nice backup, minimal cueing. She holds a really good position when she rides, +1. The turn was slow and she does have to help him through it. 0 though, correct. Steps off into the jog here, really good position. In alignment, heel, hip, shoulder. I like how quiet she keeps her hands, +1 for the jog. Fair change of speed there, especially compared to her regular jog, and just sits it really pretty and quiet, +1 for the extended jog. Good stop. The horse listens to her seat for sure. Again, steady hand, nice turn, +1, and I +1 the walk. 4 for the F and E. I really like the pattern throughout. Can tell it's a younger horse. He's not perfectly finished yet, but she does an excellent job showing him. So that was my 3rd place. And we're on to 2nd. We're back to Bailey here. I may have to push my cat is climbing up on the table. He may get pushed away here in a minute. Okay, so this is Bailey on Going for Broke, I believe the horse's name is. So we step off in the walk, and I like this rider's position. Walks forward, forward motion, +1. I like the back. Very light, very straight, minimal cueing, +1.5. Same with the turn, easy 1.5. If it was more degree of turn and a higher degree of difficulty, I could have gone higher. Here I like her position in the jog. This is a +1.5 for me. I might like to see it just bumped up a little bit, a tad more forward motion. Again, I know it's Western, but I do like to see some flow from the pattern. I like the change of speed here. She has to guide him a little bit, +1. A good halt. This horse pivots nicely in balance, +1. And I'm at a +1/2 on the walk out. 4 for the F and E. I thought she did a really nice job here. My overall score is an 82. And we are to our 1st place. This is Stacy. Get her to the beginning. Okay, found her. Standing nicely to start with. Horse is really settled, stepped off, minimal cueing. Horse walks up there, +1. Barely has to cue him to stop and back. It is really, really smooth. Doesn't change her position at all, rolls right into the pivot here. So I'm at a +1 for the walk, the back, and the turn. Steps off into the jog. Horse is responsive, position is good. This horse guides really well and stays between the reins, +1. You can tell she's sitting very square on her horse there from that angle. Does show me a change in speed for the extended jog. That's a +1. Again, minimal cueing, horse guides very well. Nice turn here, +1. I maybe could have even gone a little higher on that, watching it for the 2nd time. I'm at a +1 walking off. 4 for the F and E. And I'm at a 81 actually. So I reversed those two. Forgive me for that. I've got Bailey in first place with an 82, and Stacy, you're in second with an 81, so just 1 point apart. I have it correct on my score sheet, but I didn't have it correct in my video order. So the order of this class is going to go Bailey on going for rope, Stacy on this GJC Hunt for Dreams, then Jennifer, Bailey again, Brianna, our other Jennifer, and that runs out the top 6. Good class, guys.